Hi, hello everyone. I just started Zoom and YouTube custom webinar. Hi, Hun.
Hello, Sota.
So my name is Sota Watanabe. I'm CEO at Stake Technologies, and I'm founder of Plasm Network. And today I'm going to introduce Plasm Network Basic. And we got a lot of questions through Google Form. And we are constantly doing AMA, Ask Me Anything session, one times in a month. So this is AMA in June. So could you introduce yourself, Hun?
Hello, everyone. My name is Hoon Kim. I am one of the engineers at the Stake Technologies and Plasm Network. Well, I'll be answering all of your questions.
Cool. So today I'm going to introduce Plasm Network a bit. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. Yep, I will show you. Yeah, as a company, our mission is to realize Web 3.0. And we are one of the top technical teams in Asia. I'm Sota. I used to work at Chronicle. Chronicle is a San Francisco blockchain company, and also worked at SoftBank Robotics. And CTO is Takumi. He's nominated one of the 16 best engineer by the Japanese government last year. And Fun is here. And we have a lot of PhD, EX-CTO, and master's student at the prominent colleges like Tokyo University and Osaka University. And we are supported by prominent investors such as Mr. Idei. He was the CEO at Sony and the external director of Accenture, Baidu, and Lenovo, and so on. And the problem we want to solve is scalability and interoperability. So we believe that scalability and interoperability are the top two biggest issues in this blockchain ecosystem. Like this. And currently, in terms of the Ethereum, the TPS is just 14, and in terms of the Bitcoin, the TPS is just 7. We are making layer 2 solutions such as Plasma, Lightning Channel, and Rollups, and we would like to increase the number as same as Visa and other payment service. And another issue is interoperability. Currently, network is independent. The Bitcoin and Ethereum is not connected. So in the future, we believe the blockchain will be connected through Polkadot. That's why we are developing scaling high scalable smart contract platform on Polkadot. Yep. And our mission is to build a core infrastructure for realizing Web3. And Plasm Network, which is our layer 1 blockchain, is going to be a leading scalable smart contract platform on Polkadot as a parachain, and supporting cutting-edge layer 2 technology solutions such as Plasma, state channels, and rollups. And this is the Plasm Network. Plasm Network is a scalable and interoperable public blockchain. And we are implementing optimistic virtual machine. So OVM is, we call it OVM. OVM is a unification for all layer 2 protocol. So in the future, the developer can easily decide which layer 2 solution to use and make dApps, scalable dApps on the top of our blockchain. And this blockchain is compatible with Polkadot since we are building Plasm Network on the top of Parity Substrate. A Parity Substrate is flexible dApps blockchain framework, and we are making Plasm Network by using Parity Substrate. Yep. Not only our layer 2 solution, we are also implementing dApps reward, operator trading, and some advanced features. Yep. And recently we have updated a document and white paper, so you can check it. And many people ask me, why are you building on Polkadot? And the answer is very simple. A Polkadot will be a leading layer 1 blockchain in the 3 years. And Polkadot consists of two parts, relay chain and parachain. And relay chain does not support smart contract by design. So in this space, people need high scalable smart contract parachain, which supports smart contract very well. And this is where Plasm Network comes in. Yep. And Polkadot is also a scalable scaling solution, but it's layer 1 scaling solution. We are providing vertical layer 2 scalable solution. So in the future, we would like to build gaming use case, a DEX use case, and bridge in the future. And we have done the first lock drop. Sorry, so many sentences here. And lock drop is a way to distribute token. If you have a 1 ETH or 1 Bitcoin, so you can lock ETH or Bitcoin on Ethereum blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain for, let's say, 30 days. And after 30 days, you can withdraw the locked ETH or Bitcoin. But you are paying opportunity cost as a collateral. Then we will issue Plasm token for you. And we have done the first lock drop, and around 6 million are locked on Ethereum smart contract. And we have a second lock drop and third lock drop. Cool. Yep. And recently we have updated our documentation here. The URL is docs.plasmnet.io. So please check it. So this is the brief introduction of Plasm Network, and let's move on to answer the questions.
All right.
Yeah, and I have updated the documentation, and we got around 7 questions or 7 to 10 questions from the community, and this page will be updated when we get a question from the community. And whom answer the question here? So I'm going to ask you one by one. So please answer. Is it okay for you?
Yep, great.
Cool. So mainly we can divide the community question into 2 parts. The first part is lock drop, and second part is the validation, but as a validator things. Okay. So let's ask the first question. So how many lock drops in total will there be? And what date will these lock drops be happening?
All right, well, this question, so we are planning on having 3 lock drops in total. The first one we already finished. Second one will be coming soon, which we're targeting for next month. And the third lock drop will be dependent on when the the Polkadot Network's parachain auction would happen. And if nothing, assuming that nothing goes wrong, we would most likely stay in 3 lock drops.
Cool. And I'm looking to lock drop dots, but what do you mean by auction? How does the auction work to become a parachain in dots ecosystem and Polkadot ecosystem? I think this is very important question for us.
Yeah. So first, I guess I'll explain about the parachain auction. Polkadot's, well, parachain slots are limited in number. So in order for them to equally distribute, well, I wouldn't say equally, but in order for them to just sort of distribute these slots, they will have to go through an auction, which is it's a candle auction. But to spare you the details, all you have to do is basically lock a certain number of dots to a slot for a certain network, and you would basically vouch for those networks. And with enough bidders in that network, they will be able to use that slot. And each periods, there'll be like 4 periods in total, and each period will be divided into 6 months. So a total of 2 years. And for our third lock drop, we are actually planning on allowing participants to lock their dots to a parachain slot that will vouch for our network. for 2 years. And the options will only be for 2 years, but in exchange, we will provide better return rate for plums, which would be a far better rate than you would lock for, or you would gain for locking Bitcoin or Ether. And that's how we are planning on gaining a slot as a parachain.
Cool. So basically, we just provide 2 years dot lock drop, right?
Yep. It's more like, instead of the lock drop name is actually like sort of changing in here, because we're not really locking it per se, we're actually bidding. So it's like more of a bid drop.
Bid drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds weird.
I think, yeah, I think the 2 years lock might be too long for the many community members. So we would like to provide very great interest rate for the lock drop, dot lock drop participants.
Mhm.
And we need dots to be a parachain to win the auction. Yep. I think detail will be published in the couple of months.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. And the third question is, hardware wallet functionality was mentioned in the last AMA. Thank you for checking AMA, by the way. And has this been confirmed for the all future lock drop?
Okay, so for existing supports of hardware wallets, for instance, Ether lock drop is done via a Web3.js module, which any wallet that supports Web3, Web3.js will be able to use the lock drop. So in other words, for instance, I guess MetaMask supports Ledger and Trezor hardware wallet support, and you're able to lock or participate in the Ether lock drop via MetaMask. So yes, we do indirectly support hardware wallets for our Ether lock drop, and that will be supported throughout the entire lock drop, since we're going to be using the same module over and over. For Bitcoin lock drop, currently I'm working on implementing Trezor Connect, which will allow you to use your Trezor hardware wallet for the lock drop. And that will be also supported throughout the entire lock drop. Of course, we will be supporting Ledger for Bitcoin as well, but it's currently under development. And for dot lock drop, that's a bit complicated because we're not really aware of a lot of hardware wallets that supports dot. But we will be researching if we do find any existing ones, or if they support some very good APIs, either through like Polkadot.js or something, we will be implementing it. But so far, we cannot confirm hardware's wallet support for dot lock drop. But for anything else, it will be. Yeah.
Cool. I think Ethereum lock drop and Bitcoin lock drop and dot lock drop are different from each other. In terms of Ethereum lock drop, we can use smart contracts, but in terms of the Bitcoin lock drop, Bitcoin does not support smart contracts. So this is kind of script, right? Bitcoin script.
Yeah, Bitcoin script.
So we're gonna use UTXO, and if you join the lock drop, you will send the transaction to you, and you can withdraw the UTXO, let's say 30 days later, and so on. And in terms of the dot lock drop, Parity or Web3 Foundation will prepare for the module, right, to lock.
Yep. But hardware support or hardware wallet support is a bit iffy at this moment, since we don't really know much about dot holding hardware wallets.
Yeah, got it. So another question is, how long in months is between the lock drop second and lock drop third? Third lock drop, one second lock drop.
Okay. As I mentioned, the first question, I think it's the first question. The third lock drop will be dependent on the Polkadot's parachain slot auction. So you can't really definitively say how far apart there will be. The second lock drop will be happening, or we're targeting sometime next month, and we will be having an official announcement later on that will confirm the exact date. The first lock, or sorry, the second lock drop, well, and the third lock drop will both be about, like, I think, will happen this year. Definitely, most likely will happen this year, as long as Parity doesn't change any schedules.
Cool. I think
that's me.
Oh. Just check it. Okay. So the next question is, am I able to diversify my lock drop investment as input ETH for 300 days and also those for 2 years?
Oh, yes, of course. We recommend diversifying your portfolio for any investments because it's really good. It's just good to be safe. And
Yeah.
lock drop itself does not really have a loss in the traditional sense because you're not really losing any money because you'll be returned the exact amount that you locked eventually after the lock period is over. The only risk that happens will be the price risk that happens. For instance, because you're not going to be able to sell your tokens during the lock time for obvious reasons. There might be some like price fluctuations between like before lock and after the lock. But in order for you to mitigate those risks, it would be nice to participate in the lock drop with different tokens, since that will allow you to sort of maximize your return. But one thing to note is that if you decide to diversify your lock drop investment and you want to lock in both Bitcoin and Ether, that will make two different addresses that you will have the access to, since we are generating our addresses depending on your private keys, the ECDCA private keys that you use for the lock drop. As long as you're able to like remember which lock you were using or which wallet you were using for each lock drop, it's no problem.
Yeah, and also we can join the lock drop multiple times from the same address.
Oh yes,
right?
definitely. Yep.
So it's kind of like a permissionless.
Mm-hmm. But of course, different blockchain will have different addresses. So
yeah,
that
must be yes.
Okay.
So let's move on to another section, regarding the validator. So we have 4 questions from the community. And the first question is, how many hours do session and error last respectively?
Okay, so the system will target an error to be lasting about a day. Now, the only case when this will change is when we have like a block halting or transaction halting situation, which will sort of increase the area for like a minute or an hour to max. But usually it is targeted for a day, and a session will last about 10 minutes, and yeah, for most cases.
Is it same on Dusty in mainnet?
Yes, both of them will be the same.
Cool. And the second question is, error is 6x session?
Not necessarily. As I mentioned before in a previous question, in this case, I guess an error would be about 144 times a session, because a session is 10 minutes and 10 multiplied by 6 is an hour. Then that multiply that with 24 and that becomes a day. So it's 144 times a session.
Cool. I think this is a simple answer. And another question is, how is the distribution of the reward for the nodes that are currently validating on the mainnet? And do they get reward every error? Do all nodes get the same amount of reward, or does it depend on the performance of the machine? I think leading question is a little bit hard.
Yeah, well, I think it's
not my sentence.
Yeah. Okay, so it's hard to explain the exact algorithm of how rewards are distributed, but we do have a Medium article on this. So I would recommend you to read that as well if anyone's really interested in how it works. But yes, generally, every rewards will be distributed each era. That includes the dApp staking rewards, but we don't have that module yet for the mainnet. But yes, block validation rewards exactly the same as well. And they mostly, yes, the rewards, the amount of rewards given will be the same throughout multiple validators during the POA consensus. And it will sort of depend on the performance of the machine, in that if your network is very laggy and you can't really maintain a stable connection with the other nodes, I believe there might be some hiccups, but generally speaking, yes, it will be the same throughout different nodes, and it will be given each era, and it will, for most cases, not depend on the performance of the machine because we're not doing proof of work, so it's different.
Cool. And here is the last question. Is there a slashing penalty on Plasm mainnet POFAs?
We don't have an automated slashing or slashing mechanism. We don't really have a network or community voting or referendum module at the moment during POA. So no, but we will have manual evaluation of validator nodes. So if, for instance, if a validator node is trying to validate invalid blocks or try to act maliciously to the entire network, then we will have to either slash the funds, or we can just straight up ban the validator networks. Everything will be done manually during the POA, or what I like to call the babysitting phase.
I see, cool. And that's all. And I have one question for you. What is the exciting updates or implementation until by the next AMA?
I believe we are, yes, the upcoming implementation would be the OVM module. It's well, it's not quite finished yet, but that will be coming soon to Dusty. Next AMA, so next month. And the other exciting update would be the lock drop, second lock drop. That will be, hopefully, the Dusty lock drop, second lock drop will be completed by next month. And the official mainnet lock drop will be finished a little bit later than that.
Cool. And also, we are going to support smart contract module on layer 1. So anyone can deploy smart contract on our layer 1. And we're gonna support layer 2 in the next month, right? So
yes,
which is pretty excited for me.
It is awesome.
Yeah,
you can actually you can make something that that actually works well now.
Yeah. I'm excited. So yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching this video, and thank you for asking great questions from the community members. And we're gonna do another AMA in July, the next month, and we have a bunch of updates until by that. So please keep your eye on Plasm Network and follow our developments. And thank you for listening.
Thank you, everyone.